we bought our dream Overlander, a Land Rover Discovery 200 TDI for under 5 grand. How we managed that? You can see it in our last video. This time, you're following us through the catastrophic idea of driving a car that we just bought as is and never really maintained it, all the way from Brittany in France to Morocco. So what we should have done versus what we really did. It's freaking cool. Can we just please rock off down south?
Say no more, champ.
But who are we? And why do we have the time and the money for stuff like this?
We're Sarah
and Jonas.
We used to work 9 to 5 in the city until we realized that lifestyle just wasn't for us. So we left headfirst into one adventure after another, usually involving good waves and some really uncomfortable ways to live and travel.
So yeah, overlanding literally sounded just perfect to us. We both work online and pick up jobs on the way if you're running low on money. But this journey starts in Brittany, France. We come here pretty much every year because my sister lives here, as she breeds Icelandic horses at this place. So if you ever want to ride an Icelandic horse in this stunning landscape, reach out to Libea. Her socials are in the descriptions below.
But back to us. When we're here, we ride waves, horses, and from now on, we'll also spend a lot of time in a very roughly built-out Land Rover. We usually stay from September to November. The waves are the best then, and if you're lucky, you still get some pretty good weather. But keep in mind that the price you pay for waves like these, where there's no one out, is a pretty cold and wet wetsuit.
But this time, we weren't. Means we had to wrestle with the harsh weather and spend a lot of time drinking tea in our car, waiting for waves and a bit of sunshine. Cup of tea? Louis Tranquil. Beruhigungstee. Den haben wir mal, den brauchen wir beide. Wir brauchen beide immer Piano.
Pedo-Surf Patrol aus dem Auto raus. Hast du diese Welle gesehen?
Die Wohle gibt mir aber das Fernglas. I mean, don't get us wrong. There's a certain beauty to surfing in cold water. But overall, it's always pretty intense. And if you are in a too intense situation for too long, it's getting exhausting. One day we came out of the water and just couldn't take the cold anymore. So we started talking about our options. We didn't exactly make a plan that day, but we agreed on one thing. We head south. After 10 hours ride, while following the coastline of France, we finally reached the north of Spain. We've been hugging the coastline from driving from the French border to the west, always on the hunt for some better weather, a bit of sun and some decent waves.
We were lucky enough to find one of those things. As you can see, it was beautiful.
And the waves weren't pumping, but there's nothing against a good old log session. Luckily, we found a pretty decent camp that night. I mean, look at it. What a view. 5 minutes from the ocean with a crazy sundown. But already up in the hills, Basically a small village where we crashed for the night and tried to get over the long ride. As there were no sights of waves the next morning, we just wandered around and discovered that we just parked up right to the Pilgrim's Way of the Holy Jacob, which I walked a couple years ago in Portugal. So we decided to use the morning to walk a bit on the Camino Santiago de Compostela, and you guys can join our little unplanned adventure. After this wild adventure, yeehaw! We headed further west until we found this crazy spot after ramming our car up and down the hills. But I mean, man, worth it. Check that out. But of course, as we Almains, we have to prepare and secure the spot very precisely. So before we properly parked up for the night, we had to drive around and level the car at least 20 minutes. Otherwise that's illegal by the German law. On our rally down south, we had a couple of nice spots we stumbled over, but this one was by far the most stunning one, and we've been absolutely stoked about it.
And because we loved it so much, you can guess that we were staying here for quite a while.
Drinking tea and watching cows. We've been lucky as also as well was arriving in time. Means we surfed all morning just on our own while being naked for the rest of the day. But honestly, that's pretty much the beauty of doing surf trips like this. You're finding somewhere beautiful in the nature, getting surfed out, eating pancakes and soak it all in. No meetings, no emails, just being out there. And at the evening, the swell even had picked up. So I was frothing until I get pretty worried. It doesn't look like much because it's filmed from above, but let me tell you, getting wipeouts in the freezing cold on low tide with 5,000 kilojoule on the forecast, it's intense. While being in the washing machine, my board hit my head, but luckily it didn't knock me out or something worse happened. Like my friend Ali, who got his board in his face and rocked off his front teeth. Looked pretty gnarly, but pretty cool as well.
But with everything in life, all good things come to an end. And because it wasn't still quite warm enough for us, we headed further south.
Saving the gates. It's on. We really enjoyed our time in north of Spain, but we had a mission to bring this car to Morocco. So we packed our stuff and hit the road. And for once in a while we thought, man, we rollin'. Weather was beautiful and our destination was south. But then...
Ah, fuck, bloody Dennis. Sind gefickt.
Yay!
Dennis, let us down.
Once again! That son of a bitch!
Son of a bitch, Dennis.
We've been stranded for the night. And this is like an abandoned camping spot. And it is very, very creepy because it's super foggy. And yeah, we're just here. It's creepy and freezing, foggy and abandoned. So I hope we survive the night. There's some like trees and stuff around. Jonas, how do you feel about this parking spot?
Lovely, very lovely. Maybe we settle here.
I hope not. If there's like a little child on a little bicycle, I wouldn't be surprised. Or like a guy with a chainsaw.
That's Johnny.
Just Johnny.
He's working here in the park.
He's just cutting down some trees. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, hopefully see you tomorrow.
So our drive shaft was done. Next morning we rocked up to the nearest mechanic and asked him if he can fix it, but he said just in a week, and the only thing he can do is taking out the front drive shaft leads us back, power our car with only the rear drive shaft, like a race car.
Normally when your car breaks down it's annoying, but if you're living in it as well, it's just super annoying. Thank God this time we could just keep on driving, and we know we had to fix it further on, but it wasn't really getting in the way of our trip. Because we knew we wanted to visit friends in the south of Spain anyways, we just took the problem with us and said we're gonna fix it later.
So we just continued our ride down south while finding some very remote tracks where you better should bring your off-roader. While I mean, we did, but it just was two-wheel drive now. But before we even could hit the off-road tracks, we stranded here.
Classical Google Maps problem.
In front of a barrier where we barely could turn around to drive back over a dodgy, narrow, water-flooded bridge. Imagine we would have brought a bigger truck, we would have been screwed. And that wasn't our only problem. We realized a sweet smell coming from the heater. So we checked and figure out we're losing coolant. Which brings us back to the main question of this whole trip and video. Can you buy a cheap Land Rover in Spain and drive it, not maintained as is, to Morocco? Oh fuck, new sound. Turns out you sort of can, but there will be more trouble on the way than you expected. Luckily, we sort of handy with fixing all minor issues ourselves and made it to a rainy, wet Granada where we could park the car and crash the couch of some friends who've been living off-grid near the Sierra Nevada, where we find out that we are both pretty average at juggling. But we also found out that we had no idea when our timing belt was changed last time. So we thought, why are we here and having a dry roof over our heads? Why not getting that replaced as well? So we went to the mechanic of the village, where we get our front drive shaft replaced, a coolant leak fixed, plus the timing belt change. The timing belt change was more a preventive thing because we had no idea when it was changed the last time, so we thought that's the only thing that can ruin a 200 TDI engine, so we better be aware of it and get it replaced in Spain where they know the cars and know how to adjust the belt. Turns out, big misconception, and it nearly ruined our car, but that's what you're gonna find out next episode in Morocco. But at this time we had no idea and being happy to leave the rainy Spain, Alicante, and take the ferry for 3 hours to Morocco.
Ready for Morocco!
So join us next time where we're climbing the dunes of Morocco and discovering a place far beyond everything else we've been knowing. The smells, the music, the vibing culture, the colors, everything seems to be different and far off the other globalized countries we normally travel. And if you liked our vlog, please consider subscribing and liking, commenting the video. See you next time in Morocco.